Hence, home you idle creatures, get you home. Is this a holiday? What know you not? Being mechanical, you ought not walk upon a laboring day without the sign of your profession. Speak, what trade art thou?
Why, sir, a carpenter?
Where is thy leather apron and thy rule? What dost thou with thy best apparel on? You, sir, what trade are you?
Truly, sir, in respect of a fine workman, I am, but, as you would say, a cobbler.
But what trade art thou? Answer me directly.
A trade, sir, that I hope I may use with a safe conscience, which is indeed, sir, a mender of bad souls.
What trade, thou knave? Thou naughty knave, what trade?
Nay, I beseech you, sir, be not out with me. Yet if you be out, sir, I can mend you.
What meant'st thou by that? Mend me, thou saucy fellow.
Why, sir, cobble you?
Thou art a cobbler, art thou?
Truly, sir, all that I live by is with the Allah. I meddle with no tradesman's matters, nor women's matters, but with thou. I am indeed, sir, a surgeon to old shoes. When they are in great danger, I recover them. As proper men as ever trod upon neat's leather have gone upon my handiwork.
But wherefore art not in thy shop today? Why dost thou lead these men about the streets?
Truly, sir, to wear out their shoes, to get myself into more work. But indeed, sir, we make holiday to see Caesar and rejoice in his triumphs.
Rejoice. What conquest brings he home? What tributaries follow him to Rome? To grace in captive bonds his chariot wheels. You blocks, you stones, you worse than senseless things. Oh, you hard hearts, you cruel men of Rome. Knew you not Pompey? Many a time and oft have you climbed up to walls and battlements, to towers and windows, yeah, to chimney tops? Your infants in your arms, and there have sat the livelong day with patient expectation to see great Pompey pass the streets of Rome. And when you saw his chariot but appear, have you not made a universal shout that Tiber is trembled underneath her banks to hear the replication of your sounds made in her concave shores? And do you now put on your best attire? And do you now call out a holiday? And do you now strew flowers in his way that comes in triumph over Pompey's blood? Be gone! Run to your houses, fall upon your knees, pray to the gods to intermit the plague that must light on this ingratitude.
Go, good countrymen, and for this fall, assemble all the poor men of your sort. Draw them to Tiber banks and weep your tears into the channel, till the lowest stream do kiss the most exalted shores of all. See where their basest metal be not moved. They vanish tongue-tied in their guiltiness. Go ye down that way toward the Capitol. This way will I disrobe the images, if ye do find them decked with ceremonies.
May we do so? You know it is the feast of Lupercal.
It is no matter. Let no images be hung with Caesar's trophies. All about and drive away the vulgar from the streets. So do you too, where you perceive them thick. These growing feathers plucked from Caesar's wing will make him fly in ordinary pitch. Who else would soar above the view of men and keep us all in servile fearfulness? Calpurnia!
Peace, Hope. Caesar speaks.
Calpurnia!
Here, my lord.
Stand you directly in Antonius' way when he doth run his course, Antonius.
Caesar, my lord?
Forget not in your speed, Antonius, to touch Calpurnia. For our elders say the barren, touched in this holy chase, shake off their sterile curse.
I shall remember. When Caesar says do this, it is performed.
Set on, and leave no ceremony out.
Caesar!
Ha! Who calls?
Bid every noise be still. Peace yet again.
Who is it in the press that calls on me? I hear a tongue, shriller than all the music. Cry, Caesar. Speak, Caesar is turned to hear.
Beware the Ides of March.
What man is that?
A soothsayer bids you beware the ideas of March.
Set him before me. Let me see his face.
Fellow, come from the throng, look upon Caesar.
What sayst thou to me now? Speak once again.
Beware the Ides of March.
He is a dreamer. let us leave him. Pass.
Will you go see the order of the course?
Not
I pray you do.
I'm not gamesome. I do lack some part of that quick spirit that is Antony. Let me not hinder, Cassius. Your desires I leave you.
Brutus, I do observe you, now of late. I have not from your eyes the gentleness and show of love as I was wont to have. You bear too stubbornness, and too strange a hand over your friend that loves you.
Cassius, be not deceived. If I have veiled my look, I turn the trouble of my countenance merely upon myself. Vexed I am of late with passions of some difference, conceptions only proper to myself, which give some soil, perhaps, to my behaviors, but let not therefore my good friends be grieved, not construe any further my neglect than that poor Brutus, with himself at war, forgets the shows of love to other men.
Then, Brutus, I have much mistook your passion, by means whereof this breast of mine hath buried thoughts of great value, worthy. Just tell me, good Brutus, can you see your face?
No, Cassius, for the eye sees not itself, but by reflection, by some other things.
'Tis just, and if for very much lamented, Brutus, that you have no such mirrors as will turn your hidden worthiness into your eyes, that you might see your shadow. I have heard where many of the best respect in Rome, speaking of Brutus and grunting underneath this age's yoke, have wished that noble Brutus had his eyes.
Into what dangers would you lead me, Cassius? That you would have seek me myself for that which is not in me?
Therefore, good Brutus, be prepared to hear, and since you know you cannot hear, you cannot see yourself so well as by reflection, I, your glass, will modestly discover to yourself that of yourself which you yet know not of, and be not jealous on me, gentle Brutus, where I am a common laughter, or did use to stale with ordinary oath my love to every new protester. If you know that I do faunt on men and hug them hard, and after scandal them, or if you know that I profess myself in banqueting to all the rude that hold me dangerous.
What means this shouting? I do fear the people who choose Caesar for their king.
Then must I think you would not have it so?
I will not, Cassius. Yet I love him well. But wherefore do you hold me here so long? What is it that you would impart to me? If it be aught toward the general good, set honor in one eye and death is the other, and I will look on both indifferently. For let the gods so speed me, as I love the name of honor more than I fear death.
I know that virtue to be in you, Brutus, as well as I do know your outward favor. Well, honor in the subject of my story. I cannot tell what you and other men think of this life, but for my single self, I had as lief not be, as live to be in awe of such a thing as myself. I was born free as Caesar, so were you. We both have fed as well, and we can both endure the winter's cold as well as heat. For once upon a raw, gusty day, the troubled timber chafing with the shores. Caesar said to me, "Dearest thou, Cassius, now leap in with me in the angry food, and swim to yonder point." Upon the word, account read, as I plunged, and bade him follow, so indeed he did. The torment roared, and we did buffet. It was lusty sinews, throwing it aside, stemming it with hearts of controversy, and ere we could arrive the points proposed, Caesar cried, "Help me, Cassius," and I sing, I, as Aeneas, our great ancestor, did from the flames of Troy upon his shoulders. The old Anchius bear. So from the waves of timber did I the tired Caesar, and this man is now become a god. Cassius is a wretched creature, and must bend his body if Caesar carelessly, but not on him. He had a fever when he was in Spain, and when the fit was on him, I did mark how he did shake. 'Tis true, this god did shake. His coward lips did from the color fly, and this same eye whose bend doth all the world did lose his luster. I did hear him groan. And that tongue of his, the bade the Romans mark him and write his speeches in the books. Alas, I cried, give me some drink, Titius. As a sick girl, ye gods, I just amazed me. A man of such a feeble temper should so get the start of the majestic world and bear the palm alone.
Another general shout. I do believe that these applauses are for some new honors that are heaped on Caesar.
Why, men doth bestride the narrow world like a colossus, and we petty men walk under his huge legs and peep above to find ourselves dishonorable graves. Men of some time are masters of their faith. The fault, dear Brutus, is not in our stars, but in ourselves that are underlings, Brutus and Caesar. What should be in that Caesar? Why should that name be sounded more than yours? Write them together, yours is a fair a name. Sound them, it doth become the mouth as well. Weigh them, it is as heavy, conjure with them. Brutus will start, a spirit as soon as Caesar. Now in the names of all the gods at once, upon what meat doth this our Caesar feed, that is grown so great. Age, thou art shamed. Rome, thou hast lost the breed of noble bloods. One went there by an age since the great flood, but it was famed with more than with one man. When could they say till now, that talked of Rome, that her wide walks encompass but one man? Now it is Rome indeed, and room enough, when there is in it but one only man. Oh, you and I have heard our fathers say, there was a Brutus once that have been brooked the eternal devil to keep his state in Rome as easily as a king.
That you do love me, I am nothing jealous. What you would work me to, I have some aim. How I have thought of this and of these times, I shall recount hereafter. For this present, I will not so be any further moved that you have said. I will consider what you have to say. I will with patience hear, and find a time both meet to hear and answer such high things. Till then, my noble friend, chew upon this. Brutus had rather be a villager than to repute himself a son of Rome under these hard conditions as this time is like to lay upon us.
I am glad that my weak words have struck but thus much shell of fire from Brutus.
The games are done and Caesar is returning.
As they pass by, plunk Casca by the sleeve, and he will tell you what hath proceed worthy note today.
I will do so. But look you, Cassius, the angry spot doth glow on Caesar's brow, and all the rest look like a chidden train. Calpurnius' cheek is pale, and Cicero looks with such ferret and such fiery eyes as we have seen him in the Capitol, being crossed in conference by some senators.
Casca will tell us what the matter is.
Antonius,
Caesar,
let me have men about me that are fat, sleek-headed men, and such as sleep o' nights. Yon Cassius has a lean and hungry look. He thinks too much. Such men are dangerous.
fear him not, Caesar. He's not dangerous. He's a noble Roman and well given.
Would he were fought? Would he were fatter, but I fear him not. Yet if my name were liable to fear, I do not know the man I should avoid. So soon as that spare Cassius. He reads much, he is a great observer, and he looks quite through the deeds of men. He loves no plays, and thou dost, Antony. He hears no music, seldom he smiles, and smiles in such a short as if he mocked himself, and scorned his spirit that could be moved to smile at anything. Such men as he be, never at heart's ease, while they behold a greater than themselves, and therefore are very dangerous, but very smart. I rather tell thee what is feared than what I fear, for always I am Caesar. Come on my right hand, for this ear is deaf. Tell me what thou thinkst of him.
You pulled me by the cloak. Would you speak with me?
Hey, Casca, tell us what had chanced today, that Caesar looked so sad.
Why? You were with him, were you not?
I should not then ask Casca what had chanced.
Why? There was a crown offered him, and being offered him, he put it by with the back of his hand, thus, and then the people fell a-shouting.
What was the sucking noise for?
Why, for that too? Oh. They shouted thrice. What was the last cry for? Why, for that too?
Was the crown offered him thrice?
Hey, Mary, was it? And he put it by thrice every time, gentler than other, and at every putting by mine, honest neighbors shouted. Who offered him the crown? Why, Antony?
Tell us the manner of it, gentle Casca.
I can as well be hanged as tell the manner of it. It was mere foolery. I did not mark it. It was marked Antony offered him a crown. Yet 'twas not a crown neither. 'Twas one of these coronets, and as I told you, he put it by once. But for all that, to my thinking, he would feign have it had it. Then he offered it to him again. Then he put it by again. But to my thinking, he was very loath to lie his fingers off it. And then he offered it the third time. He put it the third time by, and still, as he refused it, the revelmen hooted and clapped their chopped hands and threw up their sweaty nightcaps and uttered such a deal of stinking breath because Caesar refused the crown that it had almost choked Caesar, for he swooned and fell down at it. And for mine own part, I durst not laugh for fear of opening my lips and receiving the bad air. But soft, I pray you, what did Caesar swoon? He fell down in the marketplace and foamed at mouth, and he was speechless.
'Tis very like he hath the failing sickness.
No, Caesar hath it not, but you and I, and honest Cascus, we have the falling sickness. I know not what you mean by that, but I am sure Caesar fell down if the tag-rag people did not clap him and hiss him according as he pleased and displeased them as they used to do players in the theater. I am no true man.
What said he when he came unto himself?
Mary, before he fell down, when he perceived the common herd was glad we refused the crown, he plucked me up his doublet and offered them to his throat to cut. And I had been a man of many occupations, if I would not have taken him at a word. I would I might go to hell among the rogues. And so he fell. When he came to himself again, he said, if he had done or said anything amiss, he desired their worships to think it was his infirmity. 3 or 4 wenches, where I stood, cried, Alas, good soul! And forgave him with all their hearts. But there's no heed to be taken of them. If Caesar had stabbed their mothers, they would have done no less.
And after that he came thus sad away.
Aye,
Did Caesarus say anything?
aye, he spoke Greek.
To what effect?
Nay, and I tell you that I never look you in the face again. But those that understood smiled at one another and shook their heads. But for my part, it was Greek to me, I could tell you more news too. Marilus and Flavius, for pulling scarves off Caesar's images, are put to silence. Fare you well. There was more foolery yet, if I could remember it.
Will you sup with me tonight, Cascus?
No, I am promised forth.
Will you dine with me tomorrow?
Aye, if I be alive, and your mind hold, and your dinner worth the eating.
Good, I will expect you.
No. So, farewell both.
What a blunt fellow is this grown to be. He was quick mettle when he went to school.
So is he now in execution of any bold or noble enterprise? However, he puts on this tardy form. This rudeness is a sauce of his good wit, which gives men's stomach to digest his words with better appetite.
And so it is. For this time I will leave you. Tomorrow, if you please, to speak with me. I will come home to you, or if you will, come home to me, and I will wait for you.
I will do so. Till then, think of the world. Well, Brutus, thou art noble, yet I see thy honorable metal may be war from that is a disposable, therefore it is meet that noble minds keep ever with their likes. For who so firm that cannot be subdued? Caesar doth bear me hard, but he loves Brutus. If I were Brutus now, and he were Cassius, he should not humor me, and I will this night, in several hands, and at his windows throw, as if they came from several citizens, writing all tending to the great opinion that Rome holds of his name, wherein obscurely Caesar's ambitions shall be glanced at, and after this let Caesar see him sure, for we will shake him or worse days endure.